Oh, Zexion, you're so Zexion. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Zexion Report. I'm your host, Devin Decker, and joining me, my host companion, it's Zexion Sarowick. Zexion, do you want to tell the kids at home why we're here today, recording, when we're recording, and what we're recording?
I did. What? We're recording our Zexion episode.
Right, but it's an excused absence episode, and it's your absence that needs to be excused.
I didn't realize that I needed to be excused from my own personal life.
No, you know what I mean. We're recording a little early. That's it. We're just letting people know. Just in case something incredibly intense and crazy happens from when we're recording this, which is the Wednesday, was the January 28th. That's going to be important in a bit. 2026. So just know, if there's anything that we're not talking about, we're recording a little bit early. And it's for Zexion reasons, and that's okay. We're not mad at Zexion at the Zexion Report. Actually, I'm kind of happy that I might not have to work this coming Sunday for the third round of snow that may or may not cripple the East Coast.
Yeah. How you doing over there, man? You buried or what?
I am exhausted. I am so fucking tired. I got Sunday we recorded, and then the rest of the day was pretty much a wash. Got to watch the Patriots win the AFC Championship game for the 2025 season and book their berth to Super Bowl 60. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not gonna lie. But then Monday,
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, like Monday, there was no. I mean, I just worked from home, right? That's the thing. Snow days are dead. They don't exist anymore. Even though everything shut down, it's like I was working from home, and then they still hadn't plowed our streets on Tuesday morning, so I got a second work from home day, and then driving in this morning. The neighborhood was one lane, which you're familiar with my neighborhood. Not everyone who listens is, but one lane.
That sounds
road.
Like a nightmare.
Yeah. And that was all the way until the main road. So that was turning onto the secondary road that leads to the tertiary network that is my neighborhood was a bit terrifying. And then getting to Providence, right? Working out of Providence today, and jeez, we got one. The most important lanes are plowed, but so that means lanes where you usually go to take a right turn, they're all just still a foot of snow.
Man, I got those classic pictures. They should have been sepia tone when they got to me. They were my brother outside with the snow up to his knees and stuff like that, and I was just I'm so. I don't know how to express the feelings that I have right now because I am in the so polar opposite of this situation. I am in Utah where we should be having a foot of snow on a regular basis, and we haven't seen a bit of it. We did just finally get a little bit tonight, but it's already stopped, I think. So it's
it just kept. It was such a crazy thing because the event on Sunday was just nuts. But then the amount of snow that we received Monday into Tuesday would have been the sort of thing that the meteorologists are you're going to looking at 4 to 6 inches, so be prepared. But that's nothing compared to the foot to foot and a half to 2 feet in northern Rhode Island that we experienced. And we are officially talking about the weather on the Zexion Report. And the only reason we're talking about it is just because it hasn't, based on projections, it doesn't seem like Mother Nature's done with us yet.
Yeah. So basically, Devin...
and it's driving me a little crazy.
Caved up, ready to record, down to go, playing some Zexion.
Which I'm glad that you picked it up. Did you pick it up during the show last week?
Yes, I did. If you listen, you can hear the moment when I did. I think I even said it.
You're and I own it now. And I appreciate you doing that. So I guess I finished the game 100%.
Okay.
I just got my 100% map completion this evening.
Nice.
at 7:16 p.m. Eastern time. So I do feel like I'm ready to talk about the game. But before I dive into it, first of all, spoilers for a game that released March of 2025. But the sales that happened in October, it was 20% off. And for the winter sale, it was 30% off. So a lot of people finally jumped on this game. And I'm happy to see this like second, maybe even third wave of Zexion surge with like people finally like realizing that this game, because like when you look at the package of the game, it just kind of looks like Metroid for the NES. And I'm a Metroid guy, right? I didn't like Metroid Prime 4. I really just don't like the Prime games is where I'm like coming to as a fan of the Metroid series in general. And NES Metroid is kind of the hardest Metroid to like get into. The fact that I did like at one point, like probably around like 2019, I learned how to get through NES Metroid. Like I've completed it. It was actually one of my saddest moments. I was hanging out with some people. I was hanging out with the gang, the Connecticut gang. You know who you are. And we were playing on like one of those like retro arc systems that were all the rage before mini PCs kind of caught up with them. Was it like the Pi?
The Raspberry Pis?
A Raspberry Pi system. So I'm playing on a Raspberry Pi system. I get all the way to the Mother Brain fight, like with everybody just watching, just kind of hanging out, like, you know, with football starting in like 2 hours. So we all got together, we're drinking a little bit, and I get all the way down there, and I didn't know like the shortcuts that they had assigned to their particular Raspberry Pi box. And one of the inputs that you have to do, like while you're fighting Mother Brain, resets the game.
Oh.
So,
oh no.
Yeah. So everybody's like, I mean, we know you can finish the game, but I'm like, yeah, but I wanted to show it. Like, I did all that work. Like, because the first Metroid, it ain't got no save points. I mean, it does outside of America, right? It's a full save point game in Japan. It's also a disc system game.
No, but isn't it isn't it one of the ones that got wrapped up in the Nintendo Hard thing? You know, we don't want people to, or is that a little bit later?
Definitely one of the ones that got wrapped up in the Nintendo Hard thing. They say that it's because we don't have any way to back up saves, but like Zelda had come out before Metroid, so yeah, you do. I don't. Like, that's weird. So we'll get. Did
we talk about the Game Boy on here? the Lego Game Boy and the Zelda cartridge? Did we have that conversation?
Possibly. I built it. It's I love that what it looks like and that whole thing. I kind of want to like retrofit it to be an actual working Game Boy. But
the fact that the Zelda cartridge apparently has a battery in it is pretty rad.
Yeah, because that game has a battery as opposed to Super Mario.
Yeah, no, but as opposed to Super Mario that does not have one, and I love that. I love Lego. That's all. Anyway, back to what we were talking about with Zexion.
But yeah, so a lot of people look at this game that is really taking its visual cues from the NES Metroid, and I think people were hesitant to give it a shot. But then you see the price, and you see all these people playing it. Some like real well-known Metroid speedrunners, specifically like Oats and Goats, started playing it after I had like finished the game. Which I'm like, oh good, I finished the game, so I can watch him play because he's this crazy like Metroid speedrunner. Specifically like Super Metroid and Metroid Dread are the ones that I've watched him like do speedruns of. But a lot of like it's just having its moment in kind of the streaming space, and that's what finally got me to like, I've been kind of like eyeing this game. I'll pick it up for $13.99. So before I go any deeper, first of all, we're not 10 minutes in, but just this is not an ad. We were not paid to talk about Zexion. I know that might not seem like it, considering its presence in last week's episode and the presence in this episode, but it is just this game that really kind of caught my imagination, and in the wake of what was just an awful experience with Metroid Prime 4, and just like being the guy, like just being honest about it, I'd kind of lost my desire to play video games, and Zexion sort of reawoke that in me. So
No, look, man. I get it. For clarification for everybody, Devin has gotten this far and this deep into everything. I've gotten 2 upgrades so far.
Yeah, that's. So
and
I did want to say that. Where are you in the game? Where, like, what?
I feel like I did them in the wrong order because, man, I like fucking Dark Souls the fuck out of the boss in the pit that you need to fight, where that gives you the wall jump.
Yep.
Like, yeah, like that dude. I had 3 energy whatevers, and like I had I had 1 missile left. I don't know why I kept respawning with only 1 missile left, but anyway, so like it took me days, Devin. It took me days. I kid you not. I would put like a half an hour in here, 20 minutes in there, and then like I couldn't fucking get it. So finally, I get it. I did it. I was so fucking proud of myself. And then I go looking for like what to do next, and it took me forever to figure out the most obvious thing in the world. This is on me. This is not me saying the game did this. I didn't even read the missile on the breakable walls, obviously. So like I have been crawling through this game. Like, admittedly, this is not a type of game that I am normally good at to begin with, nor do I often attempt. The Metroid games are. There's like one Metroid game, the Super Nintendo one, Metroid, like Super Metroid. That is the one that I've played. Beyond that, I've never really touched. Like, I didn't do any of the GameCube ones or anything like that. Like, I just I like the series, I like the lore, but it's not something that's like near and dear to my heart, and so like it is for some people, So like, there's this whole kind of like level of like I'm getting from this kind of my level of Metroid experience, right? Like I am having a good time in this world, knowing that this is not my kind of game that I normally play, and that's not an easy thing to accomplish. Like, it's not an easy feat to bring in an audience that is not your normal audience, but it's what every game is trying to do these days, right?
Yes, very true. That's interesting. So, like, I will admit that my Metroid sort of awakening was Metroid Fusion on the Game Boy Advance. And that's a fucking pickle fuck, that story. Where it was I'm like, I want to try this game. So I got a Game Boy Advance for, I guess, my 15th birthday. That's what I'm going to guess. I think I was in high school, which means it was either my 14th or 15th birthday when I got a shiny white Game Boy Advance, Arctic white, with Wario Land 4. I beat Wario Land 4, and I lost that system. I have no idea where it is.
No.
It's gone. It don't exist in my life anymore. And I'm like, man, that kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So.
Oh shit, man. Fuck. I'm sad for you.
I am very happy about the fact that I did, finish the game. It's not like I was near the end of... Now, I didn't 100% it. I will say that. That's some of the sadness in my heart, and I've never gone back to Wario Land 4, but I did roll credits on the game. So it's not like there's some half-finished Jumanji Game Boy Advance out there with a copy of Wario Land 4.
Man, he just snatched it on up. He was so mad at you. Yeah. Kicked his ass.
So I don't know where it went. So then Metroid Fusion comes out, and... it's at a point where, you could emulate Game Boy Advance. This is, when did Metroid Fusion come out? I swear we're going to talk about Zexion, but Seijen's right. It's part of the journey in so many ways is to talk about the other games in, the style. So Metroid Fusion comes out in 2002. And I emulate it on the family computer, still in the living room, and I'm playing it, and it's a little jank because we had some pre-made PC that we bought at fucking Walmart. Maybe it was an HP. I think it was Windows Vista. It was not the best experience. I will admit that. And I'm like, man, this is good, but it kind of makes me want to get a Game Boy Advance again. So then I was at Toys R Us, and they had a Toys R Us exclusive black Game Boy Advance. I want to know when this came out. This is a lot of fun. So it is an AGS 101. So it is an upgraded version. That came out in 2001, and somehow, like years later, I was still able to find one at my local Toys R Us. So I'm like, I'll buy it. I bought that, and I bought Metroid Fusion, and I beat Metroid Fusion, and then I played Metroid Fusion again, and I did what you're supposed to do at Metroid games: is keep playing them, and it really worked for me. Then we had Metroid Zero Mission come out. Now I had beaten Metroid 2 Return of Samus on a Game Boy in 8th grade. Someone let me borrow their copy of it. That game never lit a fire under my ass. And once I got like real into Super Nintendo again, which was like sort of the end of 8th grade, I certainly bought a copy of Super Metroid. I tell you, I never played it. I didn't play Super Metroid until the randomizer that crossed it over with Link to the Past. Like that just straight up is like when I started playing Super Metroid. And in somewhere in there, Symphony of the Night just became an obsession of mine.
So now we're doing it, right? We're talking about there's no reason we shouldn't be talking about Metroid, because it literally birthed a genre in the Metroidvania, right? Like, and there is something about like having those memories brought up, that kind of warm fuzzy feeling that you had that this game does for you. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is so it's not holding your hand. It just like it gives you a story up front. You are Natu of the Arinthian race, and you are trying to seek the super element Zexion in order to save your dying planet. So that's why Natu has gone out to the planet, Cyber X72. It's not just Cyber. There's a little bit more there. I have the Zexion website because the description of the game is just kind of beautiful. It's gallantleaf.com if anyone wants to go. Cypher X72 is the name of the planet that is the only known location of Zexion after they put so much lore into this game.
Yes.
Zexion is
yes, they do.
Like it's a super element that caused a war amongst the stars, a star war, if you will, known as the Zexion War. And but you want to use it in order to close. I mean, you find this out later. So spoilers for Zexion.
He says early on, like just to give you the layman's one before you get into the details, he says early on that the reason he wants it is to save his people. Yes. That's kind of just the general idea. Everybody else wants it in order to rule the universe, but he wants it simply to save the world, his world, from destruction. So so then it rolls in and you find more stuff out later. But you get from the get go, it is established that he wants to do something else with it.
Yes, and I don't need to say what it is because I mean we can maybe a little bit later on because there's a lot in this game going on. But yeah, so what Siegen is described, I also fought the pit boss first. I beat it within 3 turns, and that's just from experience. But this game is really good at like identifying how good you are at a Metroidvania style game and then finding that one thing that you're gonna bang your head against. And which I'll talk about that as we get later into it. But also this game, for all of the Metroid that we're talking about, it really does, like Siegen said that he got a wall jump upgrade. That gives real Mega Man X vibes. You got the second upgrade. Do you want to tell the people about the second upgrade that you found?
I got a fucking sick slide. That slide is it feels so good. But yeah, you can slide through passageways. And like one of the things that this game does really well, that is in the Metroidvania like basically rule book, is it does this really good job of as you go through the world, you see places that you can't go. Like something's in your way, like that hole is just a little too small, or that wall looks a little bit weird, and you're going to be able to come back and do something, right? You're going to be able to come back. And so the second I got both of these upgrades, I was running back to where I'd already been just to see all the new places I could get stuff, which is how those games are supposed to work. But it's like this game is so it flows in that way to, like you were saying before, like the way that the world builds and the way that the powers that you're given and the way that you get around is really nice and tight. Like you're never in too big of a space that you can't kind of map it out before you map it out. Like there's definitely areas where you're like, oh, somewhere in the middle here, I know these two rooms are going to connect. I just got to figure out where and things like that. Like there's a lot of really good like love and care put into the nuts and bolts, which is really amazing.
Yeah. And this game was one of those long production cycle games. I think it's like 14 years. Don't quote me on that. But it's a single developer. I'm a single like game designer who was working on this game. So much so that Zexion, if you're a gamer, if you're one of these people who's a gamer, you probably recognize that name from Kingdom Hearts. The creator of the game did not. Had never played Kingdom Hearts, just like, ooh, Zexion sounds like a good name for a game. And then when he found out about the character Zexion in Kingdom Hearts, he's like, ooh, I should probably change the name. But he was so used to calling his game Zexion that he was unable to. I keep referring to it as Zexion because that's what it is to me.
Man.
So yeah, it's one of those, and it does benefit from the fact that it's a single voice. It's their singular vision. So you actually touched on an interesting part of this game, which is the fact that you kept starting with that singular missile, and that's because the game gives you a checkpoint before every boss.
Yes.
So you don't. There's no run back. There's no like, oh, I have to go get my corpse so that I get all my stuff. It doesn't.
There can be.
You can.
Depending on what you want to, depending on what you want to do next, there can be, because you also are given the option to go back to other save states.
Save point, your last save point.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And here's the thing I wish I knew beforehand, and all of my research after finishing the game has revealed to me. That checkpoint is a save. It's not like, so if you exit out of the game and go back, you will start before the boss. You
that checkpoint is a save. I see what you're saying.
Like your save points are save points, but checkpoints before bosses, and they come in all sorts of like varieties as you play the game. Like sometimes you'll get a checkpoint after a battle. They will give you checkpoints like in battle. The final boss, spoilers for like way far from where we are in this game, is 8 different phases long.
Oh god.
It is an 8-phase final boss. And thankfully it saves between like roughly every 2 phases. You'll know when like it kind of has not a cutscene, but like something will happen where you're like, that was probably a save checkpoint moment.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
This game is very good at signaling. Like, it is really, really good at signaling. It is a lot of show, don't tell type stuff. Like there's no words anywhere for you to, like, learn, right? There is in the story in the beginning, but I mean, once you're in it, you're like, yeah. Yeah.
So all those times I say I hate story in video games, what that actually I come to find out playing Zexion is that, like, I hate when you interrupt my video games to tell me what I already know is going on. like I'm not mad that Zexion gave me like a Star Wars style crawl to catch me up with what was going on in the story, and then all of the other storytelling is visual stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so you have the 2 upgrades. How further have you gone from receiving the slide?
I think I got to another boss, and I was not doing well. Fuck, I'm trying to remember who it was. but I got to another boss. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how. I went through the pink tunnels a lot. I was trying to go the other way through the water stuff, and I decided after dying so many times that I was going to go the other way, and ended up actually getting pretty deep into the pink side of things.
Nice. Excellent. And that's the thing. Like, you can kind of go anywhere. Like, open world Metroid was such a weird thing to talk about with Metroid Prime 4, because in a Metroid game, it's always kind of open world. It just depends how far you're going to be able to progress based upon the toolkit you're currently in possession of.
Right. I mean, that's always been the core of these kinds of games, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So that's cool. I didn't know if, like, there are a couple of things, like, have you seen any other people who are, like, hunting for Zexion on the planet? Like,
no, I have not run into that.
So that's a really cool thing, is that as you progress through the planet Cypher X72, like, you see other people in the background or, like, on a different level than you're on, also exploring, searching for this. Because in addition to I'm searching for this to save the planet Orinth, there is the fact that, you know, there are warlords and there are space pirates who are also in search of this incredible super element for nefarious reasons. And
rather nefarious.
So that's part of it. And yeah, it communicates really well. It gives you so many options for how to play. It has so much homage to other games. Like I was going with from the wall jump and the slide. That's such Mega Man like movement technology, and it feels real good. And and eventually you get like a force push gun that is essentially the spread gun from Contra, but anything it hits like also moves back, and you can use that to solve all sorts of different puzzles. You get a gun that's literally just the game Snake from the old Nokia phones, which is just kind of cool.
That sounds insane, what you just said. So that'll be interesting.
That boss is one of like, and all of the bosses are like these kind of beautiful moments of like, you actually have to use your mind with it. But like, this is a game. I don't know if I told this story. I ended up going out like the second Saturday of January, and you know, we were just having fun. We saw some live music, and then we were just hanging out afterwards. I was hanging out with the band, and one of the members was like, "You play video games, right? Do you like cozy games?" And I'm like, "Actually, I just started this game Zexion," and when I looked it up, I found on Reddit. Sejan, I would like you to type Zexion Reddit into your Google if you can. You have keys again, right? Like, I don't want...
Yes, I do. Yeah, those beautiful red keys lit up with yellow right now.
A little bit of pudding keys.
Zexion Reddit.
Yeah. I want to see if you get what is like the first thing that comes up.
Zexion is a game that hates you personally. Yep. And is very mad at you for attempting to play it.
Yeah. So, like, I'm asked, do you like cozy games? And I'm like, no, I started Zexion, which Reddit says is a game that hates me. And I'm loving it. Like, this is a game, my first playthrough of the game took me 28 hours to 100% item and 100% map. I will admit that. I've completed it. I've beaten all of the super bosses. There are super bosses in this game that, like, turn it into completely other genres of video games.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you fight a giant brain boss, very reminiscent of, like, Gradius, the Gorgon from Gradius. But you're still, like, the Natu sprite. So you're suddenly in a bullet hell space shooter, but you have a much bigger hitbox than, like, the Vic Viper from Gradius. so good luck with that. But this game is it's tough, but it's fair. Like, that is the thing I really like about it. And if it's still too tough with, like, we give you a checkpoint anytime you get to a boss or significant, like, moment in the game, like, because you find gauntlet areas and you can start at the beginning of the gauntlet. You don't have to do a run back from your save point. Like, that's fair. There's also a bunch of assist options, which is, if I'd had my druthers, I would have finished this, because there is a trophy for beating the game using only 1 missile and 0 bombs. That's right, Sejan. Eventually you're going to unlock bombs in this game. Oh, I'm excited for when that happens for you. And I'm like, well, that's insane to do that, because missiles end up becoming kind of like the currency of how you defeat the later bosses in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
pretty
gathered
much,
because I learned real quick when that it was a real boon to have more than one frickin' missile going into a boss.
yeah. And at this point, I can't imagine you can hold like more than 4 at the most. If you
Four
if you
is where I
found,
think I'm
yeah,
at currently.
which
Yeah.
like yeah. Because I think before those 2 fights, you're able to find an additional energy tank and an additional missile container.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go for this trophy. And the creator of the game, Gallant Leaf, has said, you can use the assist stuff for this one. Like, I know some of the challenges I know are very difficult. So like, having on assist options do not shut off the ability to achieve achievements. Which is cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that in a game. Control was another one that did that. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound allows you to do that. I like that because sometimes the challenges are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just like, I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Hey man, you're talking to a guy that like late game Tony Hawk consistently always just threw on the fucking moon gravity because it was just like at this point I just want to unlock shit.
Yeah, perfect balance for me. I just like perfect balance. That's
Yeah,
my favorite
no,
thing. Like, and it just makes the game fun. And I just want to have fun at that point in a Tony Hawk game. So I turned on no damage. I turned on immunity to like status effects and all that. And after I use the 1 missile, because it does require usage of 1 missile to get into the game. There's no way around that. I remapped my controls to not have any way to shoot missiles or bombs, so I wouldn't be tempted or muscle memory wouldn't kick in. And I've been slowly working through the game like that. And I'm having a real blast. Like,
how?
What do you mean? Like, not using missiles or bombs, or like
how did you get through like where I got stuck
so
for
where you got stuck.
like 10 minutes?
If you jump at the right angle from the tiny platform above it, you can actually, there's a path above that, so you can walk and jump there. I don't know about the rest of the game, but like one of the other big things is that there's also a trophy or an achievement, because it's all on Steam. The game's only available on Steam right now. And he's hoping to get it on like Switch and possibly like the PlayStations, but right now it's a Steam exclusive.
This
game.
would be great on Switch.
I
If this was on Switch, I'd be recommending it to so many people.
Yeah.
I mean, there is definitely a core group of people I'm going to be recommending it to for sure. But if it was on a more widespread system like the Switch, this game would be perfect for my friend group.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, Steam, as great as Steam is as like a library and a way to access games, it does almost make every game on Steam feel just that little bit more foreboding. Like, knowing that like you have to have a computer that can run this game. Now, Zexion can apparently run on anything, according to.
It was only 23 megabytes when I downloaded it.
Yeah, it's a big package for such a small file size. But yeah, so I'm working through that like trying to do it. And there's a thing for like collecting less than 30 items. Actually, we'll get to. Eventually, there's an achievement. It's a secret achievement. Next time you're on the title screen, Siege, if you want to have a little bit of fun, type in the Konami code.
Oh, nice.
Because it will show you all of the feats, including the 5 secret feats, of which you need to complete 3 of those in order to get the mastery achievement unlocked, which nice. We'll get back to that because something happened yesterday morning, or maybe it was Monday morning, that I did note down. So we'll have to talk about it. But right now I'm in like the happy mode of the game, Zexion, because I really do enjoy the game. I think it's wonderful. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I think that anybody could find enjoyment with it. Like, just shut off your pride. Turn down the damage if it's too difficult. There is a save state system, so you can have that quality of life as well. You can add save states as like just a thing that exists in the game. Like, he understands quality of life. He wants people to play his game, and he does not want to like anyone to feel restricted. He's proud of what he's created, and he wants people to experience it. All that. I don't know. Yeah, so the achievements is that. So in that one where I'm not going to be using missiles or bombs, I'm not going to pick up any upgrades for missiles or bombs. And since I have immunity on, I have full immunity, I do not take damage, I'm also avoiding energy tanks. And there are a lot of moments in the game where it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to just collect this energy tank on the way to this boss. This is like the carrot, and you're about to meet the fucking tree trunk that we're going to call a stick right now. And it has been really fun, like, finding ways to avoid picking up items.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's been a real blast, my time with Zexion, trying to, like, do it on this. And I know that, like, it's not maybe not being the spirit, the fact that I shut off all the damage, but also you're, like, asking me to do some pretty intense stuff. And, you know, all the damage in the game comes from missiles. I'm really just kind of leveling the playing field, if we're being completely honest about it. But yeah, and the other thing, right, what I wanted to make sure I did before we did our Zexion episode was I wanted to complete normal mode, 100% map, 100% item, and I wanted to complete a randomizer. Because once you beat the game, you unlock a built-in randomizer that is so robust. It's like insane. It's just one of the most robust randomizers I've ever seen built into a game. Now, granted, there's been like 12 patches to the game. So apparently when it first started, there were some hiccups with the with the randomizer. But as of now, it is very good. It's a good way to learn where items are after you've completed the game, because all of the items then show up on the map. So, like, you can map out where items are, which is interesting. But it's also a really nice way to learn the map itself. And I just, And then there are, like...
Did you ever go back to your ship on the surface?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you have to.
But I just was in my trying to figure out where to go and what to do. One of the many things that I did is I went all the way back up. It serves as a save point if anybody's interested.
Which is a reference to Super Metroid as well. So, like, these references to other games are just there, and it's beautiful. I really do. I really enjoy the game. And then there's also Easter eggs. Spoilers for that. There are 5 Easter eggs that can be found, 2 of which are missable. They will disappear after you've completed or something has happened in the game. But there are 3 that you can collect, and those unlock a bonus options menu, which will allow you to customize the sprite color. So for my randomizer run, I made Zexion Report colors, which was just
you have to send us pic.
Yeah, I'll put some photos up in the Discord once I have to get them. I did that one exclusively on my Steam Deck because I also wanted to see if it's good on Steam Deck because I played it on an actual PC with a controller the first time through. Though it also has really good mouse and keyboard controls as well. Like, so you're playing on a controller, right? I know you're on your like big.
Oh, I'm dual sticking it, man. I'm actually using my PlayStation 5 controller. I got a new one for Christmas because this one was starting to get a wee bit of drift. Not the worst, but it was happening. And then my family was kind enough to get me a new one for Christmas. But I was like, well, this is still a good controller, and so I've just been using it down here and everything. A little disappointed in the number of games that don't seem to support it, which is weird, but it's fine.
Well, in those games' defense, you really couldn't use the DualSense controller with PCs until like last year. Like they didn't really play nice with each other for a long time. So the fact that you can now is awesome. It's wonderful. But you do have dual sticks. So you're shooting with that right stick, right? Yeah. Which is, I never thought of how good that could be in like a Metroid environment. Mm-hmm. Like the aim just feels so good and it feels so natural and like and
there's like there's definitively these like 8 points or whatever it is that you're going to be able to aim, and so you get into a rhythm of like lining up your shots and things like that. It becomes a puzzle kind of in and of itself, right?
Yeah, and I gotta say, and that's something that the developer has definitely defended, is the fact that some people were like, well, if you're using a stick, why not give full 360 degree aim? And he's like, Because if I give you the 8 points, like, you can line up shots. It's not about, like, oh, I have to be spot on to be hitting this thing. Like, no, you'll figure it out. It's just really, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. But I do now need to come to, like, the sad message that I put in my thing. 7:51 a.m. on January 27th, 2026. 2026. Sorry, I have Zexion in the mind. Devin Love turns to hate for Zexion. And that was when I put in the Konami code and saw the secret feats and just like how batshit some of the secret feats are for this game. Complete the game taking no damage. That just seems crazy to me. Like it's specifically without getting hit. So you can't lower the damage so that you're immune, because once you get hit, you still get hit. You just don't take any damage. And like you've only played like roughly the first hour or so of the game.
Right.
Think about all the stuff you had to avoid there. That gets turned up to 27. Right? But fuck Spinal Tap and 11. This game goes to 27. In intensity in some of these sections. So like that, I'm like, oh god. There is one for complete the game collecting only 7 items. Keys and Zexion don't count. And I have been trying to rack my brain as like, what are the 7 items that would be required to finish this game?
I mean, like, you need, like, does that include, like, wall jump, like, the ability pickups as well?
So the ability pickups are items as well, right? There's 150 items to find in the game for 100% item completion. And that include, and the only things that don't count towards the count of items to complete the game with are the keys that open up the vault to the Zexion and the Zexion itself. So I'm like, well, like, you got to get the wall jump. There's no way you could beat this game without the wall jump. And you need the slide. So what are the 5 additional items that I would prioritize to finish this game? And I honestly don't know what they would be. Like,
that's wild.
Like, it is a question of, like, I don't know. Like, that's such an insane question to try to answer. But yeah. So just seeing those, like, and 2 of them translate to actual, like, achievements for the game. So if you're going for, like, a full achievement completion, you have to do a couple of the, like, insane, like, challenges. Like, the secret feats. And it's just like, man. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm a little angry at the game about that, but I'm like, but I'm enjoying it here. And honestly, that anger I'm feeling, I don't have to do those things. I can do the crazy challenge that I'm doing right now to, like, just use regular weapons to get through the game. That I'm having fun. But I don't know if I would have fun trying to play the game, attempting to take 0 damage the entire game.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those. It's been good. I've really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got you to pick it up. I hope that any of the listeners who heard our goofy ad where we went through several different accents, because if we pretend to be everybody, I don't think we can offend anyone.
I think at some point you became Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, right? That's what everybody's telling me. I liked when you became Schwarzenegger in that. Yeah, it's hopefully you grabbed it, hopefully you're enjoying it. And again, if it does become like too much to bear, like, there are options in order. There's quality of life available, and don't feel bad using that stuff. Because the developer wants you to just explore this world that he's so proud of creating. Which, like, I want to give his name.
You're talking to a household that has gotten deep into Hades 2 right now, and believe me, God mode has been utilized more than once. You know, it's having these kinds of options within the games has been just delightful.
Yeah, and some people are like, they get mad about it. Like, the whole, you can't put an easy mode into Dark Souls. And it's like, no, we can't put an easy mode into Dark Souls because you don't need to choose it. You just don't use it. Like I completed Zexion, the normal mode and the randomizer mode. I never turned on any of the assist options. And that's me. That's based on like 30 years of playing these types of games. And it is that brain boss that I was talking about, that was 5, maybe 6 hours of my time trying to complete that boss, learning every single attack and learning every single way that he, what's the fucking word? Telegraphed the move that he was about to do and learning exactly how to avoid those moves. Like, it was good. And you know what? The first time I got that boss down to like 3 health left and he completely changed up his tactics, it fucked me up. And I was happy. Like, I'm like, I made progress and he still kicked my ass. More, please. So, yeah. So, I mean, anything else you want to share on this? I mean, it is the Zexion Report, but there's a couple of other things that we're going to talk about after the Zexion portion of the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just also think from like a production standpoint, it is just super well put together. The colors are just gorgeous. The way that, again, I said earlier, the way that things are laid out, like really good at signposting, like things that maybe you can't do yet, but maybe or maybe things you didn't expect to be able to do. Because there was a couple of moments where I think specifically to get one of the upgrades, the missile upgrade, you need to break open a rock. But that's not necessarily something you can do everywhere. But like by putting it in a precarious place surrounded by grass, and you're just like, well, that seems like a weird thing. I'm going to shoot it. And sure enough, it was a missile upgrade. It's like, okay, like, but like you can't do that all the time. But the way that this game it lets you know to give it a try now is really well done. And then the music is also just phenomenal. Just the style of this game is really LA.
Yeah. I mean, if you like video games, then this game it's going to have something for you in it. And I really do hope that it comes to like Steam. I think this would be a perfect game for Steam. I don't doubt for a second that like this, not Steam, Switch. I think for the Nintendo Switch, this game would, yeah. And I really got to say, I love that the creator, I cannot find his name anywhere. I'm not super happy about that. But that's your reward for rolling credits is learning the name of the guy. I think his last name Allen, is what I'm going to say. Allen.
Going to the store page.
I mean, go to the store page, see if you can find it. Because I get nervous opening Steam while I'm recording. I'll be honest with you. It's just a fact. But what was I going to say about the whole thing? Like, he made a game for people who love video games, and it's there. You see the love that's on display there, and you see, I think above all else, that he did not compromise his vision for a lot of things. Like, he had testers who are like, you should do this or you should do that. And he's like, I'll put them in as options so people can choose to do that. But like, this is how I want the game to be. This is how I want the base mode of the game, the normal mode of the game. This is how I want the game to function. And then also, when everybody was disappointed with Metroid Prime 4, which if you're someone out there who was not disappointed by Metroid Prime 4, I'd love to talk to you. Like, if you know someone who just really liked the game, I'd love to pick your brain on that, just straight up. Because everybody that I know is like, Claude was so down on Metroid Prime 4. And he 100% the game. Like, we were hanging out, and he's like, yeah, I got all the items. And I'm like, I couldn't bring myself to do that. And he's like, ooh, I'm better than... I'm like, shut up, man. But, like, did you like the game? And he's like, no, I absolutely hated it. Like, it was so much, like, problematic moments in this game. Like, it was almost just contrition that brought me to, I'm finishing this game 100%. So, and... the creator of the game on Twitter and stuff, he's like, if you're mad about Metroid Prime 4 holding your hand and giving you a bunch of NPCs who won't shut the fuck up, why not try Zexion?
Yeah. So, I honestly don't know if there's anything out there about this person other than the name Gallant Leaf.
Yeah, Gallant Leaf is the company, is the publisher. That's the name of the publishing company. Yeah, I honestly, I thought I might be able to find something like about the name, and it's literally, if you roll credits, if you were to open the game and play credits, which you can do from the beginning, then his name comes up. If you're willing to do that, then well, you know what? Here's the promise. 'Cause I don't want to like hold it up anymore, because there's other stuff that happened today, the day that we're recording, that I do want to like slam into this episode as like bonus content. Now that the Zexion portion is coming to an end, I will open the next proper episode of the Say Report with the name of the creator of Zexion. That's a promise, and it's a Devin Decker promise, not a Say Report promise. So you knows we gonna keep it.
Because Devin is the finder.
Well, no, it's going to take 2 seconds. Don't call me the finder. Jeff Stoltz is the finder. Is that who played the finder? Now I'm Googling the finder. I hate you. Because Bones really needed a spin-off, didn't it?
Well, it wasn't even really a spin-off of Bones. Like, let's be entirely honest. A spin-off implies that a character from Bones would have eventually been in the actual show. That's not what happened.
It is Jeff Stoltz. I'm insane. That name's just in my head. Maybe I suffered a brain injury that triggers the ability to see connections between seemingly unrelated events, objects, and or people.
Oh, man.
All right. So while we're talking about The Finder, you know what, Siege? I want to drop in here as like connective tissue. I've done the 4-episode test on Best Medicine, the Americanization of Doc Martin. Mm-hmm. Have you watched any of this show? I talked about it briefly after watching the first episode a couple of episodes ago. So.
No, I have not partaken. I need to. The big thing is that I'm trying to decide if I should recommend it to my dad, who is a huge Doc Martin fan. So like, he used to just sit around and just watch hours of that shit. And so, like, I've been holding off on even, like, engaging with it until it's had kind of its time for people to actually, like, form an opinion about it, just before I even mention it to him. So I've been kind of avoiding it a bit.
Smart man. I'm going to tell you, after the 4-episode test, I would probably drop the show. Like, it is a hard watch. It is a difficult watch. As someone who never saw Doc Martin, how often in Doc Martin is the plot of the episode people just not listening to Doc Martin?
That is kind of the whole point.
The whole point of the
show.
Okay.
Is that he, like, the whole shtick is that he is this very good, very intelligent doctor, but the townsfolk, you know, they have their own way of doing things. Like that is the entire steez of that story.
Okay, cool. And Doc Martin, when that came out, like what, 2003, I think that started.
Yeah, 2003, 2006, and then went on for like 19 years or some bullshit.
Yeah, crazy. I know I've looked it up before, but Doc Martin's getting checked again just so I have 2004, right? So 2004 is when the show starts. Is a different world in 2026. So when he's like, you're sick, you need to like just stay home and get better and not get other people sick, and people just disregard that, it hits a little different in 2026 than it probably would have hit in 2004. Like, no, like, just like, why are you not prioritizing your health? But it really came to a head with the 4th episode, which was the best episode since the pilot. The 2nd and 3rd episodes were like kind of difficult for me to watch.
Okay.
Because it's like, I feel like the whole town is just gaslighting this guy. And that's not fun. Like, it's not fun. They're like, you broke his arm on purpose. And I'm like, no, like, the kid has brittle bones, and I'm trying to figure out why he has brittle bones. Like, yes, he was in my office and he tripped and broke his arm. That's not my fault. But then the 4th episode, there's like a food poisoning outbreak, and all the people point to the one restaurant in town. So he follows protocol where he's like, you've had enough cases of food poisoning. that I legally have to report it to the state like health board to come down and examine your restaurant. It could be something you guys aren't even aware of that's making your customers sick. And then because they keep, spoilers for Best Medicine, because they keep a pig as a pet, they get shut down. Like, the guy's like, your kitchen is beautiful, it's wonderful, and they kind of have the pig hidden, but then the pig, like, Dr. Best comes and he's like, wow, look at that, you got like a perfect rating in your kitchen, and that's even with a pig walking around in there. And then the pig enters the room and they get shut down for having a pig in their kitchen. Which, like, I also kind of get that. Like, I don't want to eat food, unless it's a rib place and the pig is deceased. I don't really want a pig in the kitchen of a restaurant I'm eating at.
Hey, man, I just spent the last weekend in Portland with a pig, so I can't talk.
But, like, not at a commercial restaurant, right? Like,
no, in a home, inside a house.
Like, that's a little different, right? I love Arnold from Green Acres. He's one of my favorite pigs in media. It's Arnold from Green Acres. Gory,
you're one of those. You're one of those naysayers that wouldn't go to the Ratatouille restaurant. I don't talk to you.
Don't say that. I wouldn't go to the Ratatouille restaurant because I don't like that type of food. It's not because there's a rat on top of a human making the human cook. It's only human hands that touch the food, allegedly. Like that, I don't really care. Shut up. I love Ratatouille. You son of a bitch. I'm so happy you dragged me to Ratatouille. This is a real moment where I'm thanking you for making me see Ratatouille. You changed the trajectory of my life, Zexion. I don't know if I was changed for the better, but I was changed for good.
Oh man,
I love it. But yeah, so like that whole thing happens, and then everybody's mad at him, and they have this whole speech where like, you're rude, you're just so rude, and I'm like, he's not really that rude though. Like, he's just matter of fact, and honestly, I want my doctor to be matter of fact. I don't want my doctor to like dance around and be like, well, we've had a bunch of cases of food poisoning. I need to let the health board come through and check out your kitchen to see if there's something that you guys aren't aware of that could be making people sick. Like, that's all I'm doing. Like, you're
not to disparage the beautiful people of Appalachia, but can you imagine having to be like a Harvard-ass doctor going into one of those towns and just spending the rest of your life there?
Yeah, I don't know. And he's in
What do you mean you drank the moonshine? Well, I couldn't see already. What was the difference?
Yeah, like, it's just, like, it's one, I'm just like, geez, but, like, they call him rude, I'm like, he's not really done anything rude, he's just, like, honest to a fault, and that can be off-putting to people, but he doesn't do it in a way that's rude. I don't get it. Like, and that's where I come from to the 4th episode. Like, after my 4-episode test is that the show is telling me one thing about this character, but he is acting completely different from that. Like,
yeah.
So it just doesn't jive what you want me to believe about this person.
Well, it's more what it is cringy, because I do think that they want you to empathize with him and they want you to see kind of the situation he's in, but all it does is just make you upset.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I will say this, in the 4th episode, like, he has this assistant who is just, like, not a great assistant, but, you know, he's keeping her on as a thing. There's this whole other story as to why. And then he had a patient in there, and the patient was like, wow, she's just a terrible assistant. And he's like, thank you. Like, it's not just me. It's like, she's not a good assistant. She doesn't listen. She's like, that's not my job, but legitimately, that is your job. As my assistant.
Oh my god.
And it's just like, it was like this one moment where someone in the show was like, man, everybody's treating you like ass, but you're a good doctor. It was weird. It was a weird moment. I mean, I'll probably keep watching, but I think the sadder thing about the show is I just don't see it getting another season. if it continues on the trajectory that it's on.
I actually, honestly, have not heard much about it outside of like you and I. So, I'm not too surprised.
Let's look up best medicine and see what comes up on the Google. 4 episodes.
Good old Google reviews. What
comes up. There are no ratings and things like that. Reception. It's a 77% approval rating on aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, based on 13 critic reviews. It has a 56 out of 100 on Metacritic, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be anybody talking about it except for us. So, we'll see what happens. But I love Josh Charles. Like, that's the thing that I just have to admit, is that I really do enjoy it. I love the original. Couldn't get through the best medicine pilot. There's no charm. Writing falls fat, and all the characters are unlikable. Thank you, Reddit. So I don't know, but I got through 4 episodes. I wanted to give it 4 episodes in that. But now let's turn our attention. Well, first, before Sejan, did you complete the homework assignment?
I did, Dev. I did indeed. Yeah, man.
Good. I'm happy. So I have to start this. I know I am a broken fucking record about this. I get it. I understand. I will never truly appreciate or fully understand why streaming services have like set hours when shows release, and it's something like 9 p.m. Eastern. I just don't get it. I don't understand why Wonder Man on Disney Plus, which is what we're about to talk about. I talked about the first episode of Wonder Man. Like all month it's been all episodes available. January 27th, 2026. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's good. That's a smart thing. I can get behind that. That sounds like a good deal. Let's get it. Is that even? It might have been the 26th. I don't know. But like Wonder Man, all episodes available. All episodes available. And then I go and I log into Disney Plus. All episodes are not available. And then I have to go to Google and look up and see, oh, they don't go live until 9 p.m. tonight. That's strange. Like, that's strange. But then what's even
marketing,
worse...
man, a large part of marketing is anticipation, man. Is just building it up. And any way that you can bump that, you know, even the most shittiest ways like this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. But then what does not work for me is when I'm watching, like, regular television and a commercial for the show comes up and it's like, all episodes now streaming. Because no, not all episodes are now streaming. They're not streaming for 12 hours. Like that, like I understand marketing. That
some intern just didn't get the memo to not put it in, just to not put that in the ad roll.
Right, like all episodes now streaming. And I'm like, but they're not. Like, that's a lie. And if I were a litigious person, I would probably lose if I brought it to court. Because they will all be available on this date. But it's just very strange. But I did sit down with the first episode of Wonder Man today, and I asked Sejan to do the same. That's a pretty good fucking first episode of television.
I gotta say, man. Yeah, no, it was really interesting because I don't really know much of anything about Wonder Man. It's not an unheard of character for me. Plus, this show has kind of been in the works for years. So, like, I was aware of kind of the idea of Wonder Man. But beyond that, I don't know really fuck all. And then to add to that, I don't see much in the way of, like, ads really much anymore, you know, unless it's in like in front of a movie I go to see, but generally, so I had not really seen any ads about this either. I didn't know when it was coming out. I didn't know anything. I didn't see any of these all episodes drop today or whatever. I had none of that. So when you texted me and asked to check it out, I was like, yeah, I went in completely blind. And I gotta say, I was like on the edge of my seat. Some of it was a little bit because of like some cringe stuff that happens, like purposely cringe within the episode. He gets himself fired and things like that, and that's not great. But like there were other moments where I was just like, I don't know where this is going. Like I don't know. And then it does one of the coolest things that I think that they could have possibly done. And that is that there is no focus on his abilities or powers at all. And there's like a blink and you miss it moment early in the middle of the episode, and then there's a reveal at the end that he is a superpowered being supposedly because some mysterious dude on a phone says it. So like that's it. And like that detail elevates this episode to one of, if not the best Disney Marvel pilot I've ever seen.
I still think my favorite Disney Marvel pilot is going to be Hawkeye. I have to give it to Hawkeye. As good as WandaVision is, I don't think you really...
The WandaVision one, I like.
It was really good. But I think you need 2 episodes there.
Yes.
Like that second episode
the bit only works once you kind of see the bit in action, and you don't get to see it in one episode.
Unfortunately, like you see the one episode and you're like, all right, I think what's going on, and this is really good. I really want to watch the second episode. But if I had just watched the first episode of WandaVision and then like had to wait a week for the next one, I think that it'd be like, I mean, I think I know what's going on. I'm gonna need to see another episode though. That first episode of Hawkeye grabbed me, but this one, Wonder Man, is the best. And honestly, one of the reasons why is everybody kind of lost their minds over Fantastic Four First Steps and the fact that, like, nothing is really beholden to this. Like, I don't feel like I need to know everything. I feel that same way about Wonder Man. Like, I know Trevor Slattery's there, and I know his backstory from Iron Man 3, but if I didn't know all of that, like, they do a pretty solid job, like, giving you a rundown of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's about him a little bit, but it's more about Simon Williams. And it's more about, like, and that scene, that cringe scene where he's on American Horror Story and fucking gets himself fired. I'm like, I know 17 people who are just like this. It really did a nice job capturing the industry. Holding up.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to talk about the whole scene at the end where he's like, I thought about the scene in Hamlet and how we hold a mirror up to nature. Like, this show holds a mirror up to fucking television production.
Well, and specifically superhero television production, right? Yeah. Like, I think that's where they're going, is that it is, there was a lot more kind of vaguity, like, television writ large in the first episode, but you can tell that what it's heading towards is going to be this, like, basically, like, introspective look at what it means to be making a Marvel show in 2026. Like, it's gonna be a really interesting ride, I think, in regards to that particular storyline.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. And you're not wrong. I think there's one other moment where we get a little bit of a nod to what his powers may be, or the fact that he is super powered. Because the blink and you miss it is at the audition. That's what you're talking about, right? Where he gets the purple energy in his eye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think, and again, spoilers for a show, is the first episode of it. If you have Disney Plus, it's available, which means that it's available if you sail the seas, right? I'm not advocating, I'm just saying the first episode of Wonder Man is available as of the time you're hearing this episode.
Hey, we got a lot of listeners over there in, like, Vietnam and shit like that. Like, you know,
we do.
Like,
we have a lot of international listeners, so you'll be able to find it. Is and in pretty solid quality. I think that scene where he's brushing his teeth and there's like a little bit of an earthquake going on, I think like the reason he leaves to go watch Midnight Cowboy is because he's about to lose control of himself, and thus his powers are going to come out. And again, Wonder Man is not a character I know that much about. Other than, like, things I know about Wonder Man is that his brain was mapped onto Vision in the comic books, that he has an all purple energy form, that he had a stupid jacket for a little bit there. I do not like Wonder Man's jacket, and I will fight anybody who wants to fight me about that. Wonder Man had a stupid jacket, and also his brother is the Wizard. Are you familiar with the Wizard in Marvel Comics?
Oh.
Super fucking racist character. So the fact that Simon Williams
Oh,
is
okay.
yeah. So and that's always the thing is that it's Simon Williams' brother, right? And the whole thing is that like he did what he did to Simon to give him powers, and then Simon defected from his brother and joined the Avengers. That's sort of the whole thing. It's like, I don't want to do this, but look what you've done to me. I'm going to use these powers for good. So the fact that, like, I know those things about Wonder Man, the Simon Williams in the 2026 Marvel Cinematic Universe show, I know nothing about. I don't know how he got his powers. I don't know what his powers are going to mean. Like, I'm excited for, like, a nice Wonder Man story. And I also like that Wonder Man is in universe, like a cheesy Flash Gordon-esque superhero who looks like Simon Williams from the comics. Mm-hmm. Like, that is a great reference. But Wonder Man, I didn't even know who Wonder Man was until the Fox Kids Avengers series. Like, that was the first series that he was, like, a prominent feature in. And honestly, I was watching that one for Tigra. I'm not even gonna... I'm not gonna deny that.
Oh man, those are the days. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed it, and I think that one of the really good thing, like one of the really enjoyable things is there is a lot of focus on like the industry and the art of acting and all that sort of stuff, but there is actually on display some excellent like execution of those acting styles, like the conversation that him and Trevor have in the bathroom is wonderful. I can't tell you how many times I have seen that kind of conversation between like a director and an upcoming like the kid wants to do what he was taught to do in college, and the director's just like, fuck all that, man. Nobody else here went to college. How do you think we do it? and like and that moment was just like really nice and real, because I also know that there's plenty of professors that go the other way and are like, no, you need to do process. And so like, it's a really realistic look and kind of charming look at this kind of level of movie making, and I am curious to see how they keep it up.
Yeah. It's Bentley. Oh no, never mind. Bentley Whitman. Whatever. The Wizard is definitely related to Simon Williams in some way, shape, or form. It might not be him. Whatever. I'm trying to find the information that's not there. That scene in the bathroom is my favorite scene. Cause he's like, "You're just trying to get into my head," and he's like, "No, love. I'm actually trying to support you." Right? Like some of us actually want to support other actors. Like it's like. Yeah, man, like, I know that we're all kind of competition, but, like, we're not all Bob Odenkirk's character in that episode of Joey where he's Joey's rival. Also, I've been watching the Joey series on YouTube, to be continued on that one. But, yeah, I'm excited for where Wonder Man goes in so many ways. Like, it was refreshing. Like, I can't remember the last time I was this excited after the initial episode of a Marvel Cinematic Universe like property.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It was a really enjoyable hour of something that I don't get to often say about Marvel properties, is that like I had no idea what I was getting into going into it.
Can I tell you the best part about it? You said it was an enjoyable hour. The episodes are like 22 minutes. It's a return to half-hour, like, runtime Marvel series. Damn. Which, like, that's what WandaVision was. That's what it is.
Dense.
A lot fucking happened in... Yeah, because, like, I looked at it, I'm like, 35 minutes? That's awesome. And then it ends, and I'm like, oh, that was only about 24 minutes? Because there's 14 minutes of credits right now. Like...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they probably have to do every... translation page.
Every translation page is there, but also just the credits for like the US, like the English credits, right? The ones for the production are like nice and long, like, and they're giving credit to everybody, and I'm like, yeah, these are good because it's dense and it's tight, and I could probably, if I wanted to hold myself to the first episode, I've seen it twice now. but I could have devoured the whole series today with no effort. I would have just sat down and enjoyed it. All right. I think we can call this one an episode of the Say Report, right? We did a lot of Zexion talk. We shared our thoughts on a new Marvel thing. Anything else you want to throw into the pot before we send this one out?
I'm trying to think. There was probably something else I brought up last week that I was diving into, but we'll come back to it.
Excuse me. Your whole controller saga, right? That's what you were gonna talk about, right? You bought like a Turtle Beach controller.
I mean, not a saga. I wanted another Pro controller, but the Pro controllers are pretty expensive, and they're only getting more expensive right now with all the bullshit that Nintendo is pulling and tariffs are doing and all sorts of nonsense. So, anyway, I was like, I can't justify the full price of a Pro controller, but I've gotten a couple of the Mad Catz ones or whatever the fuck they are that feel basically just like empty plastic. There's no weight to them or anything. Mm-hmm. So I wanted something kind of in between. Well, lo and behold, Turtle Beach and Nintendo just teamed up to release a controller that's in kind of the mid-range. I only ended up paying $34 for it. I think it's normally $44. But yeah, it's this really nice, got some good hefty weight. It's compatible both with the Switch and the Switch 2. Also compatible with PC because it basically is just a Bluetooth controller. And it connected up real fine. It's got this gorgeous paint job to it. It glows in the dark. I love it. It's this great little thing. And it was a really good mid-range controller. So if you're looking for a controller for the Switch or the Switch 2 and you don't want to drop all the money on the Pro controllers, this is definitely a good one in between.
I'm also going to take this time to mention that if you do not, if you have a Switch 2 and you haven't bought the Switch 2 Pro controller yet, your Pro controller from the regular Switch definitely works with it. You should know that.
I mean, I don't think that was a secret. I mean, Joy-Cons work with it, doesn't it? Don't they?
Yes, but it's just one of those things where I've had some people, right? People who listen to the show who are like, man, I wish I knew that could just use my old Pro controller with the Switch 2. It's one of those.
Yeah.
So, just that, just a thing to keep in mind, make sure that people are aware of. Also, I think I'm wrong on the wizard being Simon Williams' brother. I really thought that was a whole thing. Hold on. Wonder Man's brother, Marvel. Oh, he's the Grim Reaper, Eric Williams. I knew he had a brother who was one. Yeah, it's the Grim Reaper. I guess I was calling him the wizard because of all the fucking I am a super racist asshole things that yes. I know about the character, the Grim Reaper. Yeah. So sorry for that. I'm like, I know his brother's some ultimate evil is Grim Reaper. So, yeah.
Oh, wait. We should give a quick shout out to the evil asshole from Superman playing the other side of the coin in this.
Oh, Zlatko Buric as Von Kovac?
Yeah.
God, it's so good. I'm just so into the show. I want to watch all of it. And I hope it's good. Cause what I really like is Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second, putting him in the role of Simon Williams, this secret super, when his pedigree is he was Secret Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen TV show, is awesome.
Yeah.
It's just they're playing with that. And he was also the Black Manta in the 2 Aquaman movies. He's a hell of an actor. I'm happy to see him in a Marvel property, and I'm really, just that first episode. And it really, it just captured the industry so well for me. Specifically, we can move the moon. It's just going to take a couple of minutes. Moment.
Oh, man.
God, and again, I know so many people who just like that. Yeah, all you had to do was lay in blood, right? This is You're doing it. You got fired from American Horror Story. Excuse me. That was gross. All right. So Sejin's got controller recommendations, all that. I don't know what the next episode of the Say Report is going to be like. We're going to go back to our fun, flitting free, sort of like improvisational styles, and not just be like dedicated to Zexion and then a couple of other crazy things that happened. So if you've enjoyed this episode of the Say Report and you want to keep the conversation going, we have a Discord that you can join. Invitations are available wherever we are on social media, which as of this recording is still Facebook and X, formerly Twitter. If you're not on social media, you can send an email to thesayreport@gmail.com and we can facilitate you with an invitation. Or if being in a Discord server is just a bit too much like social media for you, we can just communicate via email. Send them to thesayreport@gmail.com. Most important things to remember is that if it's for me, Devin Decker, or for him, Sejin Sarwick, just put our name in the subject line and we will distribute it appropriately to the Say Reporter you wish for your correspondence to go to. But please keep in mind that if you send something to Sejin, he reads it and he thinks it's worth mentioning on the show, there's a chance it's going to get mentioned on the show.
It will.
Yeah, it will. So just understand that anything submitted to the Say Report, or really any conversations you have with either of us, is up to potentially being scrutinized by us as we talk into our microphones each week for an episode of the Say Report. All of that being said, again, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Give Zexion a try, and William, please bring us home. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Say Report with your host Devin Decker and Sejin Sarwick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.